And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Aiden. And Aiden writes, "Hey, John. A friend and I have been talking a lot about the Rust situation, and she sent me this article today saying that Dwayne Johnson is going to ban the use of authentic guns on any movie set he's either in or is producing through his production company. Do you think this makes a big statement considering he's not only a big action star, but probably the biggest movie star in the world?" All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, listen, we've been talking a lot, obviously, the last number of days and a couple of weeks now about the tragedy on the set of Rust. And still, that is a story that continues to unfold. More and more information comes out about the tragic shooting of the cinematographer on set of the Jensen Ackles Alec Baldwin movie and how tragic that was. Yesterday took a little bit of a turn where the lawyers for the armorer on set of the movie is suggesting that maybe somebody purposefully sabotaged it by slipping in a live round, trying to sabotage the set. That's crazier things, I suppose, but that's made this whole thing take another twist. But it all comes down to something that I've been talking a lot about since this happened. It was years ago. I remember years ago, Dennis Zen and I got into this conversation about like weapons and prop weapons and guns. And I remember saying for years, there is simply no need for real guns to be on set. There's no need for real guns to be on set. The way movies are done today, it's so easy. Like a lot of TV shows and movies already use alternatives that the audience cannot tell the difference. There's just no need. And after this shooting incident happened, it kind of brought it up again. Well, the John Campea Show #1 fan, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, clearly heard me talking about this. He did not hear me talk about this. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson clearly heard me talking about this. And yeah, he is now banning, #1, guns on the sets of the movies he stars in, the movies produce, and he's even said he's letting the studios know that any movie he's working with them in any capacity, no real guns. This comes to us from the folks over at Variety who say this: "I can't speak for anybody else, but I can tell you with an absence of clarity here that any movie that we have moving forward with 7 Bucks Productions, any movie, any television show or anything we do or produce, we won't use real guns at all. And when something like this happens of this magnitude, that is this heartbreaking, I think the most prudent thing and the smartest thing to do is just pause for a second and really re-examine how you're going to move forward and how we're going to work together. Any movie we do that 7 Bucks does with any studio, the rule is we are not going to use real guns. That's it," he continued. So that comes to us again from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with the folks over at Variety. And look, obviously I 100% agree with him. I 100% agree with him. Look, there are risks in life that you need to take, right? If you get on an airplane, you're taking a risk. If you ride your bike, off trail, you're taking a risk. But if you work on a movie set, it can be a risky place. A movie set can be dangerous. There's power lines with up-teen volts of energy running through them, 1,000 things to trip over, giant, extremely heavy lights hanging overhead that can fall and kill you at any time, 100 different people running around in a confined space. It's dangerous, but the risks, you kind of have to take to get the job done. When there are risks you don't need to take, when there are risks that are unnecessary because there's risk-free alternatives to still getting the job done, there's simply no excuse for not taking that option. Now, look, let's not pretend that people get shot on the set of movies every day. This is a rare thing. It does not happen often, obviously. But the fact is, it doesn't need to happen at all because there's no need for the risk of having an actual weapon on a set. You don't need to have that. You can get the job done with a risk-free alternative. We talked recently about the showrunner for the Nathan Fillion show, The Rookie, saying, you know what, for half of our scenes, we've been using these airsoft guns already. We're now going to use all airsoft guns because we've been using them and our audience has never been able to tell the difference. And that's the key. So I think it's extremely significant. Like you're asking, how significant is it that it's not just anybody coming out and talking about this, but it's actually like the biggest action star in the world, and probably still right now the biggest movie star in the world, that he's the one coming out and saying this. I think this is very significant. Because a lot of times when The Rock does something, other people will follow suit. And this is a pretty big voice in the business to be doing this. I don't know that the whole industry is going to move to non-real guns anytime soon, but I think you're going to see more and more start to move towards that. And I think Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson coming out ahead of all that is going to help that process along. So anyway, that's just how I see it on that. Question is for you guys. What do you think about Dwayne Johnson coming out and saying, hey, listen, no movies that I act in or produce through me or my production company are ever going to have authentic guns on set again? I think this is a common sense, straightforward, intelligent thing to do. What do you guys think about it? Jump down into the comments section below and leave your thoughts there.